Congratulations for being here. This is super exciting. This is day one of your daily success practice. There are 4 exercises in each daily success practice. And today we're going to go through all 4 of those with a description of some potential options for you. So pick the option that is best suited for your particular fitness level. And as legal would advise me, you should probably check with your physician before you start a new exercise routine. But putting that aside, let's get started. These are floor exercises primarily. So you get yourself down on the floor, on a mat, barefoot. You could have socks on if you want, but definitely barefoot is the best option for you. And we'll start by doing a routine that is very common in yoga, and that's the cat-cow routine. So this is the cow, which looks like a tabletop essentially. You drop your belly down a bit, let your midsection come down towards the mat. You lift your head up and back. That's cow, and cat is the opposite. So you rotate your hips so they come forward, and you create a curvature in your spine all the way up to the point where you actually look like a cat as it stretches. So you're stretching your arms out fully, and then getting back into the cow position. Reverse it, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your head up and back and take a deep breath. Let's do 5 of these. Breathe out as you go into your cat position. It's 1. 2. Breathe in. Breathe out. 3. Breathe in. Breathe out. 4. Breathe in. Breathe out. 5. Okay, that's excellent. Now let's get into a position that allows your whole body to stretch. Since this is the start of our daily success practice, and we're just starting the first exercises, it's good to warm up a little bit. So the way I do that is through the cat-cow, and then secondly, a full body stretch, or really it's a flexion. So you start by dorsiflexing your toes, bringing your feet up towards your toes up towards your head. Tighten up your quadriceps, tighten up your abdomen, hands and arms overhead. Squeeze those hands and hold it for 5 seconds. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, relax. Do 3 of these. Same thing again. Dorsiflex your feet. Tighten your quads. Tighten your abdomen. Tighten your upper body. Hands overhead. Tighten everything up. Hold it for 5 seconds. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Excellent. One more time. Dorsiflex your feet. Tighten your quadriceps, your abdomen. Bring your belly button towards your spine. Hands and arms overhead. Squeeze your fists tight. Everything. Hold it for 5 seconds. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Okay, let's look at the options for the first exercise. If you remain on your back, we'll begin the option for the first exercise. And we'll go through each of these options. There are 3 in this case for the first exercise. And then we'll do a set of 21 of that exercise of your choice. So let's start laying flat on the back. Your arms extended along the side of your body. Your shoulders relaxed down on the mat. Your head relaxed. And what you'll do is you'll lift your legs up parallel. That is, your shins parallel to the mat. And at the same time, lift your head up and take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, bring your head back down, bring your legs down. You could either touch your toes or you could touch your heel. It's a little bit easier to touch your toes. So that would be 1, then back up. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's one option. The second option for this initial exercise, you're similarly positioned with your body and your back flat on the ground. Straighten one leg out, keep one leg bent, and it's a single leg raise. And the same thing as far as breathing goes. When you lift your leg up with your knees straight, you'll lift your head up and you'll take your deep breath. Down is 1, 2, deep breath, 3, deep breath, 4, deep breath, 5. Okay, and then you'll switch legs. Same thing on this side. Lift up, deep breath, leg comes up, keep your knee straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, excellent. So the last variation of this exercise is the most advanced, but it starts out the same way with your shins parallel to the mat. You can lift your head up if you'd like. I like to lift my head up, but keep my shoulders back and relaxed as much as I can on the mat. And you'll straighten out your right leg, and your left leg will stay in the same position it was, and then you reverse it. So it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. You could point your toes, or you can have your toes dorsiflexed. Either way, whatever's comfortable for you. What I like to do with any of the variations of these 3 exercises is put my hands on my abdomen. It's amazing how you can actually feel that you've got a six-pack underneath that layer of fat. We all have that layer of fat. The people that don't have that layer of fat, or at least it's not visible, go through crazy dieting and oftentimes water deprivation during the 5 or so days prior to their photo shoot, so that their skin literally shrinks to their muscles underneath. So that's not normal when you see people in the magazine like that. That's not how they walk around during the day. So I look to put my hands on my abdomen. With my fingers, I can actually feel the different abdominal muscles as I do these exercises. Okay, so let's actually do exercise number 1. Pick one of the 3 exercises. Either it's this exercise where you're touching your toes or your heel, or it's this exercise where your feet are flat, one leg is straight, and you do a single leg lift. Or it's the dead bug exercise. We don't have to do the hands at this stage. Let's just keep our hands alongside our body. But lift your head up and do this. And we're going to count to 21. I'll do the counting for you this time. Okay, get in the ready position for whichever one you decide to do. I'm going to do the dead bug exercise. So I'm going to take my deep breath in, lift my legs up, and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, more than halfway there, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, we're done. Excellent. Okay, what you could do right now if you feel a little tension in your lower back is do what they call windshield wiper for your legs. Back and forth. It relieves the stress a little bit, the tension in the lower back that may have been created. And we'll get into the more technical aspects of these exercises as time goes on. This is day 1. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with this program. The other thing you could do is get yourself up and windshield wipe your legs as you're in an upright position with your hands behind you. Just go side to side. Let's do 3 of these. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. If you even need more of a stretch, you can take your feet outside of the mat, windshield wiper them, but go all the way down so that your shins are actually touching the mat. So that'd be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, excellent. All right, let's flip ourselves over. What I'd like you to do now is get into what's called child's pose, again as a means to relieve any stress that you've created, any tension you've created in your lower back. And this is why we have these props for a couple of reasons. For one, sometimes it's difficult for folks if they don't have cushioning underneath their mat to be on their knees. So take a towel, fold it over. It's folded over 3 or 4 times here. I'd even go more than that. Take it and fold it over one more time. So you have a nice cushion for your knees. And then once you do that, you can bring yourself back and actually sit on your heels. It may be difficult for a lot of people because their knees are not used to it. This is why we have these other props here. So this is just a roller, a round roller. And this is a typical yoga block. So you could take it and you could put it right between your feet, between your thighs, and you could sit on it that way. If that's not high enough for you, then you can also take another towel and you can put it back behind your legs. Whatever's comfortable for you. As far as using a yoga block, you can take the yoga block and put it on its highest setting. And you can sit back on it just like that. But what I want you to do is then lean forward, walk your hands forward as far as you can. Feel the slight stretch in your lower back. And then allow your elbows to actually slide back, your hands to slide back so that you're on the mat. And then allow your forehead to come all the way down to the mat. This should be a great stretch for your lower back. You could even reach back and massage it a little bit if you want to. It's a really good feeling. It's a really nice stretch. If you can't get your forehead down to the mat, that's fine. Take another towel or take one of your props and actually just come right down onto that prop. This is a restorative pose, so it could be done anytime in between exercises if you want to stop halfway through or at the end of an exercise. But the idea is to allow your body to restore itself through this pose. So let's put ourselves in this restorative pose, which is called child's pose. With our forehead down on the mat, take 3 deep breaths. Sigh that breath out. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it for a second. Sigh it out through your mouth. One more. In through your nose. Sigh it out. Excellent. Okay. Put your props aside. We're going to do the second exercise now. There's really only one variation of this exercise. It's called camel pose in its full position. Start by being on your knees. Your toes can be curled under like this, or they could be flat. Top of your feet could be flat on the mat. Put your hands on your lower back, or put your hands at the bottom of your glutes. I like to do this because it reminds me that it's important to flex your glutes initially. So tighten up your gluteus maximus, your butt muscles, because you want to protect your lower back, because what we're doing is arching here. Okay, so I'll demonstrate the exercise initially. Take a deep breath. Bring my head back as I breathe. Arch back, and you should feel a stretch across the whole front of your body. This feels so good across your hip flexors, across your quadriceps, all the way down across the front of your body, and you're opening up your chest and your heart. It's a great exercise. So that's deep breath back, and then come forward, rounding a little bit. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the variation to this is after you take your deep breath, you arch back, you come forward. As you're breathing out, you come all the way down and catch yourself with your hands. Bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. So that would be 1. Again, back, forward, 2. Gives you a fuller, greater range of motion. But let's start out with the exercise that does not include the forehead down to the mat. Let's do 21 of these. This is our second exercise. Ready? Begin. Head back, deep breath. Arch. Forward. 1. Arch back. Deep breath. Forward. 2. Breath back. Forward. 3. Breath back. Forward. 4. Breath back. Forward. 5. back 6, back 7, back 8, back 9. Arch only to your capacity. What feels comfortable for you? Back 10, back 11. More than halfway there. Back 12, back 13. Feel your glute muscles tighten. Back 14, back 15, arch back 16, arch back 17, arch back, bring your chin to your chest 18, back 19, back 20, back 21. Okay, drop yourself down in the child's pose now. Maybe take that prop again, put it underneath you so you can get down into the position. And lean forward. Walk your hands out in front of you. You should feel a little tension in your lower back now. If it's too much, then you overdid it. You got to go a little bit easier next time. But this is a great way to stretch out the lower back that you put through a little bit of stress, not a lot, but a little bit. The closer you bring your knees together, the more of a stretch there is on your lower back. So if you need more of a stretch, bring those knees together. Allow your head and your chest to fall between your thighs and between your knees in a wider stance. You could also take your hands, the back of your hands facing down, allowing your biceps to rest on your thighs. And rest in this position for a moment. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Ready? Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Sigh it out. Again, breathe in. 2. 3. Excellent. Okay, remove your props. Before we go to exercise number 3, I want to talk briefly about abdominal breathing. It's really important to breathe fully utilizing your abdomen. What you want to do is you want to counteract the sympathetic nervous system response to stress, right? That's the flight or fight response, and your sympathetic nervous system is what controls that. So the way you counteract that is by engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, and you can do that by deep abdominal breathing. So picture a pitcher of water, and you're putting water into that pitcher. It fills up from the bottom first, right? Fills up to the bottom, all the way up to the top. That's how you take your breath in, and reverse it when you expel your breath. So the top of the pitcher, in other words, the top of your lungs, will expel the air first all the way down to your abdomen. So I want to demonstrate deep abdominal breathing. This is a fantastic way to create relaxation in your body. It might be before a presentation, or it might be before a tennis match that you're having, or it might be at any time where you need to relax and you're feeling stressed for whatever reason. Deep abdominal breathing will counteract that sympathetic nervous system response of fight or flight. So what you want to do is you want to expand your belly by bringing your diaphragm down. Your diaphragm is in this position. So you bring your diaphragm down, it brings your belly out, so the air fills up down low initially, and then as you take that breath in, you continue breathing in. You could feel it filling up your entire lungs all the way up actually to the back of your throat. It's amazing. And then as you expel that air, same thing. You reverse the effect. You're pouring water out of the pitcher now, right? So you breathe out, air goes out from the top, and then force the last of the air out by bringing your belly button back towards your spine, pushing the last of the air out. So let's do 3 breaths like that. Force it out. Tightening your abdomen. One more time. Excellent. That's a great way to relax. It's a wonderful way to relax. Okay, let's go into the third exercise. In order to get to the third exercise, you got to be back on your butt again. So a couple variations of this exercise. Get in a comfortable position where you're seated with your soles of your feet flat on the mat, your hands behind you. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift ourselves up. Ultimately, the goal is to get into reverse table position, and I'll demonstrate that right now. So reverse table position is just like this. That's reverse table position. But we don't have to get to that today. What we'll do is demonstrate a variation of that is a little less stressful on the body. So begin with your feet flat on the mat, your knees raised up, your hands behind you, and just lift your body up off the mat as high as you can. And as you lift up, you'll bring your head up and back, let it fall back, and take a deep breath. Down is 1, 2, 3. So you can have a number of variations with your hands. You can put your fingers forward towards your toes, or you can keep them back just like I had them. The second variation of that exercise, you'll have to lay back onto the mat with your shoulders relaxed, with your head relaxed and your neck relaxed. Let it rock back and forth. Your hands alongside your body. Take your heels and walk them back towards your buttocks. And this is a traditional bridge pose. And we'll do this, like all the exercises, 21 times. But let me demonstrate it once or twice here. So once you get into this position, you lift your body up so that your torso is straight. As you take your deep breath, that's 1. As you lower down, you breathe out. 2, 3. All right, so that's the second variation. To see the final variation, get back up into a seated position with the soles of your feet flat on the mat. I'm going to point my fingers forward, but it's very similar to the first variation where you're lifting yourself up, but you go all the way up into the tabletop position, and then rather than bringing your butt straight down, you bring it back down between your hands. So that would be 1. Up, 2. Deep breath in, up. 3. So those are the 3 variations. So pick one of those 3. I'm going to do the full variation right now that I just demonstrated, but you can either do the partial lift, or you can do the bridge pose, or you can do this one that I'm going to do. We're going to do 21 of those. Get into a position, your starting position. Lift yourself up. Allow your head to come back. If it's already back in the bridge pose, take a deep breath. And then back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're more than halfway there. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now try to do a full variation if you're just lifting your body, if you're just lifting your butt off the ground slightly. For these last 4, see if you can do this full practice. Up, 18, up, 19, up, 20, up, 21. Excellent. That's fantastic. It is a bit of a workout already, right? Wouldn't you say? I'm breathing a little bit heavy myself. So, in order to deal with that, let's do 3 deep abdominal breaths. Either get into the position where you're sitting on your heels, or you could sit down with your legs crossed in front of you, or you could bring the soles of your feet together, whatever's comfortable for you. This is your practice. This is going to be your daily success practice that you'll be working with, and you're going to do what's comfortable for you. You'll know because your body will tell you what you need to do. Ready? Begin. Force that air out with your abdomen. One more breath. Okay, fantastic. One more exercise. Okay, this particular exercise I'm going to demonstrate by using one of the props. So I'm going to take a towel. We'll start out in tabletop position. I'm going to take a towel and roll it up and put it behind my legs. Now, a beach towel actually is very good for this because you can make it nice and thick. From this tabletop position, walk your hands about 2 hand lengths in front of you. And then push yourself back gently onto the towel or onto the prop, whatever you're using. And you could feel a stretch across your shoulders, across your forearms, across your triceps, across your entire body, your lower back. This should feel really good. So this is the start position. Then you come forward. You come forward. Take a deep breath. Push yourself back gently. That's 1. Up again. Back down. That's 2. Okay, so what you can do to get a little more stretch, a little more extension, a little more mobility, as you come up, go past your hands with your shoulders to a position where you're actually allowing your middle body, your torso, to drop down. And you could take your shoulders and you could bring them back gently. It feels really good to rotate them back and bring your shoulder blades together. So from this position, you push yourself back, and that would be 1. Forward. Back is 2. I'm actually getting a cramp in my foot right now over here, so I'm curling my toes, putting my foot down on the mat like that to stretch out that cramp in the bottom of my foot. This happens. This is what, when you're getting into shape, you're living a healthy lifestyle, these kind of things happen. You get cramps, you get pains, but let me tell you, by doing the daily success practice, you will eliminate many, many problems. And you'll feel good. You'll be able to pursue your dreams. You'll be able to live the way you want to live. So let's get back into it. I apologize. So here we are with our hands here. We come all the way forward. Our head lifts up and back. Take a deep breath through our nose and gently push yourself back. So that would be 3, I think we're on. Okay, so those are the 2 variations so far. The third variation offers even more mobility, more flexibility, more range of motion. So from your tabletop position with your hands walking up 2 hand lengths approximately, you're going to curl your toes under and you're going to push yourself up into what's called down dog in yoga. And from this position, you could start out by what they say, you could start out by what they call walking the dog. So you rotate from right to left foot. So you're stretching things out a little bit. You're getting the blood flowing. And the idea, of course, here is that you're supposed to get your heels down towards the mat. So you'll feel some tension along your calf muscles, which is fine. This is good. This is all part of returning to a healthy lifestyle and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So from this position right here, you should be in an upside down V, as good as possible. You should be having you should be making a peace sign. Your fingers should be splayed, and make a peace sign towards the top of the mat with your fingers. But the bulk of the pressure should be on the heel of your hand. Okay, you could distribute it out across your knuckles as well. Your start position from down dog, you're going to come forward past the push-up position, allow your body to fall down, your shoulders coming over and a little bit past your hands. And this is where you take your deep breath. This is called up dog position actually in yoga. And then you push yourself back. 1. Okay, pick one of those 3 starting positions and let's do our 21 repetitions. And we'll be done with our exercise portion of our daily success practice for today. Day 1. Okay, here we go. Get yourself into your ready position. I'm going to do the full down dog, up dog myself, but you do what's comfortable for you. Okay, ready? Come forward. Deep breath in through your nose. Push yourself back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to drop myself down. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, gosh, that feels good. Woo! Okay. Pretty good exercise, right? You did 4 exercises. Your whole body should be stimulated. You should feel energized, probably a little bit tired. This is what it's like living a healthy lifestyle. Workout, movements, mobility, creating energy in your body. Thank you for coming here today. But stay tuned, of course. The cognitive portion, which may be the most important part of your daily success practice, is coming next. Hi, I'm Robin Fate from the Foy Health Program. This is part 2 of your daily success practice. Part 2 focuses on cognition and will always teach you 1 or 2 things to think about during the day, and will oftentimes include a short, healthy lifestyle to-do list. Let's jump in and learn something right now. As we've discussed, incorporating cognitive behavioral therapy into living a healthy lifestyle is a must. It's the common denominator for all successful healthy life programs and diets as far as that goes. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a therapy, as the name indicates. In other words, a treatment used for the purpose of healing or improving a condition you are experiencing. So for example, think in terms of physical therapy. There is a concerted effort through stretching or strengthening exercises or manipulation to improve a muscle pull or some other condition your body's not quite right with. So in CBT, we are using your cognitions, your thoughts, your memories, perceptions. In other words, your mind to change behavior. You see, they're all linked. It all starts with your thoughts, though. No feelings or actions occur without a preceding thought. And you may recall that we have 60,000 thoughts every single day. But many of those thoughts we're just not aware of. Just like an iceberg, where 90% of those 60,000 thoughts occur below the surface. In this case, it's the surface of consciousness. They are subconscious thoughts, thoughts that we're not even aware of. Your thoughts create many different emotions and feelings, which are themselves dependent on different types of variables, both internal variables and external variables. And each emotion that you have, with its corresponding feelings, leads to some behavior or some action. Ultimately, those actions or behaviors will lead to additional thoughts. You see, it's a big circle. Becoming aware of these connections and how they interact with each other is a huge part of changing behavior. And we're talking about incremental changes, right? And you probably know from our discussions on CBT, we help you become aware of your thoughts, understand possible sources of your thoughts, and manage those thoughts in a way that will help you change your own behavior. The key to living a healthy lifestyle, which you may decide includes losing weight, is focusing on your thoughts. We will learn in future videos about flawed thinking based on dysfunctional beliefs or programmed habits that we all have that are really not accurate and not helpful. You will learn how past experiences influence your feelings and your actions. And you'll learn to identify triggers that lead to patterns that are negative, self-sabotaging, and honestly create huge roadblocks when it comes to reaching your goals. But today, we're going to talk about a cognitive restructuring technique that goes to the core, the very core of cognitive behavioral therapy. And it relates to your thoughts, of course. It is important to begin reflecting upon our thoughts, on what we think about, and to do it objectively to determine if those thoughts are accurate and helpful in reaching our goals. The simplest way to work through the analysis is with a technique called the 3 C's. Catch it, check it, and change it. Today we're going to focus on the first C, catch it. And I have to say that catching your thoughts that lead to your feelings is really not easy. But there are 2 points that you could focus on under this first C that will be helpful. The first is simply to slow down. Slow down yourself to the point where you can actually identify your thought, becoming aware of your thoughts. And I don't mean every single thought throughout the day. I mean in those situations that impact a healthy lifestyle. When you're deciding what to eat, or when you're deciding if you should take the steps or the elevator, or deciding whether you'll continue with this program tomorrow, which probably is the most important decision that you'll make that will affect your life in the future. Will you continue this program into tomorrow? Let the answer be yes. Once you identify your thoughts, begin to accept the idea that your thoughts, or really anybody's thoughts, are not necessarily fact. They're not always accurate. For example, you may say to yourself, this program is going to be tough, and besides, I've tried dozens of programs or diets in the past, and I always fail. Well, we'll talk more about the second C of our technique tomorrow. That is, checking your thought for accuracy. And that statement that you just thought, that idea is flawed. And you'll find out more about that tomorrow and why it's flawed. But if you have a thought, first and foremost, slow down and identify the thought. That's actually part of the things for you to do today. Identify 1 or 2 negative or self-sabotaging thoughts you have related to the Foy Health program. That is, living a healthy lifestyle. And write them down in your journal that you've already bought or will buy hopefully later today. Which brings us to the second part of your to-do list for today. Go out and buy or gather up the following items. A simple journal or notebook or anything that's, let's say, 30 pages or long. Staple 30 pages together. Anything that is dedicated to note-taking for this program. And make it special. Find a journal that's special, something cool, something that you feel good about, a leather cover, a nice picture on the front, whatever it might be. Find a yoga mat or a towel, maybe the one you used this morning, and pick a place in your house where you can put that yoga mat or towel and the other props. And make it a happy place, make it a special place. This is the place where you're going to spend every single morning practicing your daily success practice. It's really important. Put your props there, put your journal there. We talk about props, that's 1 or 2 large pillows or a beach towel that you can roll up to assist you in getting into your seated positions or your child's pose. And finally, find 2 reusable water bottles, maybe buy new ones, you probably have a bunch of them around the house, one for the home, one for your car or work. That's all I've got for you today, and I hope this was super helpful as you continue on your lifestyle journey. And I'll see you tomorrow.